Well, it looks like Ethereum is could be telling the tale with a fractal it's making, and I want to show it to you today. Could be telling the tale for where Bitcoin might be headed as well. Just give us confirmation on our Elliott wave count. So I want to show you that today on the Jim of All Trades show. Glad you made it by. My name's Jim. I'm a crypto trader and a forex trader, and this is the Jim of All Trades channel. I do trade on the Forex and crypto, and I use Elliott Wave theory as one of my primary edges on the market. And so what I want to do, what I'm doing on this channel is helping you see the market from an Elliott Wave perspective as well. I shared yesterday, or this morning, I shared a video with you that I shared last night. Was a live stream right before we got the dump last night, and I just wanted to share it with you and let you know that if you'd like to be a part of the Telegram group, I give videos like that on a fairly regular basis, and as needed. In particular, we give charts all the time, and I'm always there to answer questions within the Telegram group. If you need some trading support or just you want to trade within a community of traders, I'd be glad to have you join. Just follow the description and the link to the Patreon page, and that'll get you all set up. And with that being said, let's jump into the market and see what's going on. We're looking at Ethereum right now. I just want to show you a fractal that I'm looking at. To be honest with you, I don't have a count for this hodgepodge of mess. It's quite difficult. I know some of the structures that I'm seeing, but man, it's such a hard structure for this to really just kind of look. This looks like some kind of an ending diagonal or ending broadening wedge of some kind here in Ethereum. But I want to highlight a particular wave to you that right here, actually right there, and I want to compare it to the wave that we just got over the last several months, the last 2 months here, December and January. And you just notice the shape there, and right up to this point right there is where we have this. Actually is slightly bigger than the previous one, but it is broadening as we mentioned. But let me just highlight the shape for you. You can kind of tell what Ethereum's been doing with its price action. Been given a nice little three-wave move to the upside, three-wave move to the downside, and then we get this move to the upside like that. That is a flat for sure. Okay, got another flat right here, just clear as day. And then we have, guys, it looks like we've got another kind of a flat working right there. Same shape over and over and over. You can kind of see that we've been doing it since back here. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. This one is an intermediate kind of wave and another wave group, I think. But anyway, hard to tell. But that being said, just wanted to highlight that to you. And so basically this wave shape where we had, let me just change my pen color here to white just so it's clearer. There we go. This kind of straight up parabolic kind of move has happened before on several occasions, and here it's happened again, no doubt about it. Now, what's interesting to me is what happened following each of those moves. And so let's take a peek and just notice every one of those moves here. So after we had this move to the upside here, you can see that we got a sharp rejection and down we went. Okay, right here after this up move here, it seemed like it was going forever, and it was a nice rally and making a lot of gains. It went from $163 all the way to $226. That was a nice rally. Again, it just dropped. We had an initial drop, and then it just dropped off the map. And so let's just look at what we've got going on over here. So this is making nice gains. It was pushing up, and then we've got an initial drop. Chances are now. Chances are after the initial drop, we get this bounce, this intermediate bounce that actually retests the top, and then it has the follow through to the bottom. And that's what I'm expecting here as well. I'm expecting some kind of a price action here to kind of come up and retest the top, and then continue on down in that shape. And you can kind of see how that shape has been prevalent through the price action here for Litecoin. For Ethereum as it's been going down. There's the shape there. There's the shape there. There's the shape there. And these straight down moves have just been common. So $100 is not off the table for Ethereum, and I just wanted to highlight that to you and show you that we might be in for $100 Ethereum coming soon. That being said, that's pointing to the downside if that fractal remains true and if it continues on as we expect. Okay, there is a Bitcoin Elliott wave count that I'm expecting also as well to follow through to the downside, and so they would both have correlation with each other, and there's a high reason to believe that is going down. So Ethereum's looking down to me. We've hit the top of this resistance again. and looks like it's ready to come down and make a correction. Now, what kind of correction we get, you can never tell. We might just get a three-wave move to the downside that does not break the low, and we could head on up. This could be some kind of a one wave followed by a two wave, and then we're heading up here, and that's a possibility. But for now, we've got all this other price action to say. I think down is the direction. Whether we get 5 waves down or 3 waves down, we'll have to wait and see. Whether we get a major dive like this will depend upon Bitcoin for sure. So if we get a major dive like that, it's certainly possible within the grand scheme of things, and I want you to be aware of it. With that being said, let's look at Bitcoin as well and see what we're looking at. Well, we've broken through our expanding, not our expanding wedge, but our diagonal here. Right now, our assumption here is that this is a diagonal, some kind of a leading or ending diagonal. Now, if it's an ending diagonal, what's happened is we've got basically a flat here, and the ending diagonal was the C wave, a 5-wave move as was required. The only problem I have with that, guys, is that this last move was very 5-wave-ish, guys, rather than 3-wave-ish. It was a lot more 5-wave-ish than 3-wave-ish, and so because of that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, I tend to believe this could be very strongly a leading diagonal. That this move right here, the bottom, when we bottomed here, this was the bottom of something, though I don't like it, and there are reasons why I don't like it, okay? And so, to be honest with you, I just don't know, but the implications of it being a leading or a ending diagonal are staggering, guys. They are staggering, and let me explain. Again, if it's an ending diagonal, we have to say it's the end of a flat, and that means we're coming down to new lows. We're going to break the low that we had and hit in the $5,000. We're going to break 6,000 most likely and get into the $5,000 region. Okay, that's where we're headed. That's the very bearish scenario. That's if this is an ending diagonal. Now, if it's not an ending diagonal, guys, what we're dealing with is a leading diagonal. That means this was the end of something. Okay, and I don't have time to explain all the ins and outs of why that count is in question. I could go through this wave and explain it to you, but I think it's just going to be lost on a lot of you. I guess one of the things I could just say is that I'm aware of the difficulties with both counts, guys. I'm aware of both of them. Excuse me. And what I'm trying to do is stay neutral in this process and say, I'm just going to leave it open to interpretation right now and say it could be an ending or it could be a leading diagonal without making a conclusion either way. So with that being said, if this is a leading, so if it's an ending diagonal, expect new lows. If it's a leading diagonal, then all we should expect, that's a bullish scenario, we should expect a 3-wave move to the downside. Okay, we should expect 3 waves. We might already have finished the first wave. Not sure if we're finished or not, but we got basically 1, 2, could get a 3rd wave like that. Okay, that would be an ideal situation. You get a nice 3-wave retrace. Okay, and then that's going to come to a let's see, where would it hit? Excuse me. Somewhere in the ballpark is $7,500. 74 to 78, $7,400 to $7,800 would be my ideal zone. Could get down as low as 7,000 here, even 6,700. I could come that low. Listen, guys, it could come even 100% of that wave down here. But as long as it's 3 waves and it doesn't break the bottom of this wave right here, as long as we don't break whatever that bottom was, 64.50, somewhere in that ballpark there, as long as we don't break that region, guys, then we are good to go for this to be a 2-wave. Now, if it comes down to 3 waves, it stops and seems to be have a reversal, then, guys, we're probably going to the moon, so we need to be watching that and in long on that trade. And I'm going to be definitely watching that trade as it comes down. But this could come down in 5 waves as well, and 5 waves will get us down to that $5,000 region as well. Whether we have about $5,500 is the ultimate range in there. There's some reasons for that number, Fibonacci, as well as levels that are important and whatnot. So I'd rather make that projection as we get some kind of a wave structure heading down so as we're heading down and we get some wave structure here, we'll be able to project where that wave might be ending based upon the structure we're getting. Okay, so we'll have to look at that and see what's going on. With that being said, all right. Finally, guys, we had a bull scenario that got invalidated last night. A MOONBOY scenario where we said we just break up and out of this scenario, that this that this wave right here was some kind of a 1, 2, and then we're going to get a 3, 4, 5 like that. And all that's going to be the third wave. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'd be going up big time. That's the big MOONBOY scenario, and just not the case. That's not the kind of wave that we got. And so let's take a peek at the wave that we got and say, okay, is there anything here that gives us any kind of inclination for what might be happening, in the future? Or if there's any, is there a scenario where we could still go up from here? And my answer to that is no, I don't think so. I think we're heading down here in 3 waves. We're coming down in a corrective pattern. We started off impulsively, so I'd like to see 5 waves complete here, go up in 3 waves, and then come back down in 3 waves like that. So it's going to start going up again, guys, and everybody's going to think, oh, hey, we're doing fine. It was just a pullback, and it's done. Okay, it's going to be kind of like this wave right here, and then it's just going to keep going. That's the sentiment, I think, but I think this is definitely an impulse here as far as I can tell. That's an impulse. Can't be construed as 3 waves in any way, shape, or form. It's definitely an impulse to the downside. Looking for a 3-wave pullback and another impulse. That's at minimum of what I'm looking for. If we get a 3-wave pullback and then we get another big impulse like that, then I'd be looking for the bear scenario. Okay, so those are the 2 scenarios that I believe are on the table. Why couldn't there be any other scenario on the table? Well, let's take a peek at it here. All right, so if there's going to be if we try to come up with some kind of a bull scenario here, what do we have? Well, what I see right off the bat, that's clear as day, that we've got a 1, 2 wave of some kind. Okay, so I think it behooves us to call that 1 and call this 2 of the larger degree. Okay, so this would be a 1 and a 2. So there's 1. There's 2. This is the larger degree. Now, what we have that comes next should be a 3rd wave, but here's now there's a couple ways to count this. What we just received could be the 3rd wave, and so I want to talk about the potentiality for that, and then we'll go from there. So, if that is the 3rd wave, we did come to the 1618. We did pass it. The way we would have to count that, guys, the way we would have to count this wave is this way. We would have to say that this is some kind of a 1, 2, that's 3, this is 4, and all of this was an extended 5th wave, guys. And so let me show you how that would look here. If I put the fibs here to here, we got to the 786, almost to the 1-to-1 extension here of that wave, which is a common 5th wave extension. We didn't quite make the 1-to-1 extension. I would have liked to have seen the 1-to-1 to be a little bit more satisfied that could indeed be a 3rd wave complete. But with that being said, we might indeed have a 3rd wave on our hands. So at least keeping the momentum alive for the bulls as a possibility. This would be a 3rd wave. Now what we need is we need a 3-wave pullback that remains within the 382 or the 50% of just wave 3. So if I pull the fibs here, we're looking for a pullback here that's 3 waves, comes to $8,300 and bounces, or 80-20-21 in this region. So we're looking at this 50% region to the 382 in that ballpark. We've already hit the 236 and surpassed it. We're now heading into the 382 region. We've come impulsively, so we need to see 3 waves, or we need to see some kind of a triangle as well. Okay, need to see some kind of a triangle. If there's a triangle, that would be an ideal 4th wave, and so we could have some kind of a triangle forming, and then we're off to the races again. And so that would be the 4th wave right there, and then we go on from there. I don't think that's going to be the scenario here, guys. This has come down too impulsively. I'm expecting a 3-wave pullback and then another impulse to the downside. Now, where that impulse stops, we'll have to wait and see. If it comes down, corrective fibs to the 1276 extension. When I run the extension off these waves, or the 1-to-1 extension, we'll have to wait and see. But if we come to the 618 extension of this wave, then we're going to be looking pretty bearish for sure. We'll have to bring that information down the road as it comes. I'll present that information more clearly and plainly as these waves develop. But right now, we would have to see price again come on down in a 3-wave fashion like this and stop in this region right here. for me to continue this to be a fourth wave. Now, if price makes it down here to this region right here, about 76.68 in that ballpark, guys, this is not a fourth wave, and we are definitely invalidating any kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that kind of wave. We would be invalidating that. So if this retraces and then comes on down and surpasses this the top of this wave right here, we would invalidate for sure, for certain, a fourth wave move to the downside as this being our count. So right now we're waiting to see if the only hope the bulls have is that this is some kind of a fourth wave, and then we're moving up for a fifth wave after that. So that's the only hope that the bulls have. The secondary hope that the bulls have is that this was indeed. Let me see if I can get all this off the screen now. Oh, come on, where are you? There we go. That the other hope that the bulls have is that this was indeed a leading diagonal. Okay. And if that was a leading diagonal, we're expecting a three-wave pullback to this region somewhere in the 50 to 61 to 786 region. It can come all the way down here. It could. As long as it's three-wave and a corrective extension, we'd like it. And then we'd be going long from there to the moon. And then, guys, it's going to be a moonshot if that happens for sure. That's going to be a really, really awesome bull run for you, and you'll make a lot of money in that run. So we'll have to wait and see what we get. But the bears' hope right now is that this was an ending diagonal indeed. Let's see if I can get it. It's very similar to the leading diagonal. Okay, same shape, different wave count, sub-wave count. But anyway, that being said, the bears' hope is that this is some kind of a 1, 2. We're going to get a large 3, 4, and a 5, and we'll finally get down here and finish off this Z wave that we're talking about, the WXYXZ that we've been talking about forever. Okay, so that's where we're looking. That's the counts that we're looking at, and that's what we're watching. So for now, guys, that's all I can see. It's all I can see to share with you. Those are the rationale, and that's the wave shape that I'm looking for. Definitely, if you didn't catch Saturday's video, guys, that's really an important one to understand my channel, to understand what I'm doing. So let me commend Saturday's video to you if you missed it. Really, really one of my better videos, in my opinion, and I think several people have actually mentioned that as well. One of the better videos, helped them to understand why I think what I think, why I seem so contrary all the time, or why I seem so bearish right now, and it just really helps you get into my mind and understand at least my philosophy and why I'm making the decisions I'm making, in light of all the circumstances that we have. Just at least to help you understand the channel better. So, guys, I hope you have a fantastic evening. It's Sunday. We'll see you back on Monday morning with a video, and we'll see what's going on. I definitely keep everybody in the Telegram group up to date over the evening hours, especially. We're going to get some charts out to you as soon as this is finished as well. All right, with that being said, you guys have a fantastic evening. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.